What is going on with everybody? You think that'd be picked up? Think all that? See, be good? Yeah, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be so loud, bro.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, I am back for another episode. I think this is 21, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I have somebody on my right. I'm gonna let her introduce herself to the episode 21 of Girl Talk. Who do I have?
Hi, I'm Monty.
I forgot to put my bonnet on. Oh my gosh, second time I did this. I gotta blur out my hair like I just didn't do that. I probably got like a big bun right there too. I'm just all messed up today. Either way, how are you doing today? I'm so glad you came. We posted this like a couple weeks ago. I pushed it back. A fake tornado came. She got really upset because I pushed it back. Tornado came, didn't really come. The weatherman said it was gonna come, did not.
I was very sad.
And she was very upset, understandably. So I apologize.
I was sad.
I apologize for that. But
We're here now.
We are here. How are we doing today?
Super great. I'm excited.
I am very excited too. This is first time meeting you.
Yes.
What's going on? Like, what you do today? You got your freaking hair done?
I worked.
You worked?
Yeah, I worked and then got my hair done. Came straight here to you.
Can you tell the people where you work at? It's kind of interesting.
I work in a private office. I'm a dental hygienist. And I work in a private office. I just kind of chill now. I used to be in a corporate office where I wasn't chilling.
What made you attracted to the idea of dealing with like mouths? It's really interesting. I would have never chosen that job. I'd rather deal with feet than mouths.
Feet.
Yeah. I don't have like a foot fetish or anything, but like
I feel like you do.
There's somebody in this office, not in this room, but there's somebody in this office. Well, maybe there's somebody in this room who does.
I know because.
But I wasn't. It's somebody else.
I was feeling the vibes.
It's somebody. And she said, "You will."
I saw the head nod, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay."
He must be a toe nigga. That's what she said. That is very funny. All right. Well,
I actually hate feet. I don't even get pedicures.
Really?
I just get color changes because I don't like when people touch my feet.
So I'm not one of those people who are obsessed with feet, but like I can appreciate good feet. Like, oh, those are some nice feet. But I'm not one of those people like, ooh, that man put my toes, put your toes in my. I'm not one of those type of people, but like I can admire good feet. I like to put my feet on people. Like I'm very free with my feet. Like if I put my foot on you, would you freak out? Like you one of those type of people?
No, we can do footsies.
You like that's pretty cool. You ever met somebody like that though? That's like freaks out over feet.
Me.
You just said that you
without like
no.
shoes.
I'm saying if I.
Oh.
I'm saying if I like took my shoes, I put like my foot.
Oh
like, right there on
yeah,
your
no,
lap.
I would probably like I'd be tripping. I'd be tripping.
What's the odds we can make that happen in this episode? I just put my sock on your lap. What's the odds of that happening?
Eric, what the fuck?
I don't know where this is going anymore. How did we do this? Hey, who knows? Either way.
But you gotta ask me what made me get into mouths. Nothing made me get into mouths. Though.
You know, Camille freaking put her feet out last time.
I saw that.
I think.
And when she did that, I heard someone behind the camera like comment about it, like made like a gasp or an expression, and I was like, somebody behind the camera. Like feet.
It wasn't him.
Okay, so there's another person.
That's what I'm saying. There's multiple bullies.
But like when she put her feet, I was just like, I noticed there was an expression in the room because everybody looked up and back. So I was like, they fuck with her feet, and she does have nice feet.
That is super duper.
She has nice feet.
Shout out to Camille.
I was like, I probably could. I can't do that right now. What she did, I would be so embarrassed.
Gotcha. Now,
what my feet look like.
Off of feet fixation and onto your oral fixation.
Oral.
Where did that come about?
How I became, or like why did I want to?
Yeah, like what was the motivation behind doing that?
It started off with like external motivation to go do something. Because my mom had kicked me out. She didn't really kick me out. She was like, you gotta go to college. And I wasn't ready to go to college. I thought my mom was gonna like take care of me my whole life. Which sounds weird when I say it out loud. But my circumstances, I thought I was gonna be living with my parents forever. So when she told me like, oh no, hell no, you going to college? I was like,
how old were you?
I didn't know, like 17. 17, about to be 18. I was like, I had to figure out what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I just started like job shadowing. And I had got my wisdom teeth pulled out. I knew a dental assistant. And then after that, I was just like, okay, so I want to do something medical. And then I started shadowing all types of stuff. I was a pharmacy tech too. Like before I went to college, I got a job as a pharmacy tech, and I was a pharmacy tech in college. So I like tried dental assisting too, and then I was like, oh, I wanted to be a dental hygienist because I didn't like the dental assisting job. I was like, oh, I'm not feeling it. And I was like, yeah, I like doing it. It's like repetition. I like repetition. So it's like a set schedule. Everything is like organized, and that's how I operate. So I was like, oh, I love this. And then I also like making people like smile. And nobody goes to the dentist and is happy. People go to the dentist and like don't want to be there. But like when you go to the dentist and you go see your hygienist, you're just like, oh, okay, nothing's wrong with me. I'm just getting a cleaning, regular. It's got, like, they're happy. But like being a dentist, people are just like not too happy to see the dentist. Like, ow.
You know, I went to get a tape up today, and my barber was like, he's kind of older dude. He said that, hey, you need to know you need to talk about on your iPod channel. And I was like, that's not what it's called, but all right, I'll go along with it. I was like, what do you talk about? He says, older black men scared of going to the dentist. He said older black men do not like to go to the dentist.
Facts.
And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought people in general didn't like the dentist. I did not know the demographic of, not elderly, but just older black men, like in their 40s and whatever,
Definitely.
did not like to go to the dentist. So I was going to say, is that something that...
It's a something. And like international people like foreigners, they don't like going to the dentist either. But yeah, my biggest like hard to work with patients are usually older men.
Really?
Yeah. Now that I think about it, like it might be black, but I have to think like hard. My demographics isn't all black either. It's in a whiter area.
What did
it's
they,
like predominantly white though.
What did they do? Like you said, like they're hard.
Man,
to
I
work
had
with.
a grown man cry. Like his
Really?
fiance holding his hand, and he's just heart just palpitating, sweating. He's nauseous. I'm just like, I didn't even feel comfortable with doing the treatment that day. So we didn't even do treatment that day.
Wow.
We had to reschedule and go back to the drawing board. So he had to be like orally sedated, and
Wow.
yeah, it was a lot. I was like, damn. Like,
I never got that. I never got the idea of being scared of the dentist. I don't get it. Like I don't know if you can expound on that, on why people are like that. But I've never.
It's an
understood
invasion
why.
of personal space. It's like a little bit. It's like almost going to like the gynecologist.
Maybe I'm too. No.
A lot of people see it that way.
Okay, so maybe I'm too naive, but I'm just like, hey, these guys are professionals. I trust you. You're not gonna hurt me or anything. And I've never been hurt, or I've never been like accidentally clipped or anything at the dentist. So I've never been scared of it. So I just assume.
There's two reasons. The invasion of space, and if people feel like they don't have control. When you're in the doctor office, you're sitting up, you're talking to the doctor, you're laying back. But in the dental office, you're completely laid back. Someone's standing over you with sharp instruments, so you're giving up a sense of control, and you're letting somebody like take over, and you have no control like at all. So I do stuff like let patients hold the suction. Because they're just like, yeah, I'm a grown men, grown black men just excited to hold the suction because they feel in control. And then the other reason people are scared to go to the dentist is because they know what's going on in their mouth. They just don't want to acknowledge it. And dental pain is like very unbearable. I've had people describe dental pain worse than childbirth.
Really?
Yeah. Like they'll be like, I'd rather have another kid than come back in here. Yeah. They'll be like, it's a lot. Like especially if you have a lot of infection and stuff like that, and then you start getting things fixed, it starts to kind of bother with you. You feel different, and you're like you don't have control over it. You got to come to the dentist. You got to get it fixed.
That is very interesting. Hey, you see the boss move he just made right there?
What'd he do?
I don't know if the optical of that was really funny. Like he could just tap him, so it's like, get out.
The ship is over.
Your job is done. But that is really, really interesting because, like I said, I've never had a bad dentist checkup or anything, so I've never looked at it.
Because you go regularly. So the only people that have bad experiences are people that wait too long and like ignore the signs. That's what I do. I do prophylactic treatment, prophylactic care. Preventative care. Preventing like tooth pain. Preventing that anxiety that nobody wants to experience.
Now, I do want to go back to this dentist thing, but I want to take a step back at something you said. You said your mom at 17 was like, hey, you got to get to going.
Yeah, she wasn't playing.
For those who don't know, this is an African. So A Nigerian. That's not like an insult when I said that, but this is a Nigerian woman, and the one thing I know about Nigerian people, really anybody outside of Western culture, they usually stay with their parents until they're married or they have just like some millionaire job where they can just, live on their own. So I think it's very interesting that your mother was like, hey,
yeah,
I don't care if we're African or not.
She was American. My mom's American. My dad is the African.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I have see both sides.
Gotcha.
But my dad, if I did not want to go to college, I would, like you're saying, stay in the house.
You did say that, yes.
Yeah, he would treated me like my mom's the reason I went to college. My dad was like, he I don't think he cared. He was like, college is okay. And then when I went, he was like my baby. Like he was happy. He was like, oh yeah, she's doing her thing. But he didn't push it. He was just, I thought he was gonna spoil me the rest of my life too. Eventually, it was a shock. But I went to college and I did my thing.
Well, did you know that? Did you know that African culture is usually they stay in their house or whatever?
Yeah.
So that was the thing. So you're so going into it, are you thinking that oh yeah, I'm African, even though my mom's African?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I kind of knew my mom was gonna. I knew something was coming. Maybe it's time to be an adult and go get a job, or something, or. I don't know. I just knew something was coming. But my mom, she's a first generation in her family to go to college and be successful and have a empire of her own. Cause she's really successful. So I could see why she pushed me and my sister to do it, so we could be like her, which we're kind of following her footsteps.
Well, let's put a pin in that as well. Let's keep going back because my mind, I am all unchronologically all over the place right now.
Chronologicalize.
Is that
your
a word?
Thoughts. Yeah.
Chronologicalized?
Your thoughts.
I think you made that up. But I think I don't know if the lies is a real word. But either way, let's take it back a little bit. So you, like I said, Nigerian, but born in Germany, correct?
No, I was born in the U.S. because
Okay.
my mom's from Texas.
Okay.
So I was born wherever she was stationed in Fort Hood, I think. I was on a military base. And then after that, she had me and we went to Germany.
What is going on over there? What is happening in the... That's why I listen to the paparazzi. Hey, somebody is getting on some classic.
Is that an African bonnet?
Yes, this is the colors of liberation on my head right now.
Kente.
That's amazing.
Shout out to that.
There.
Shout out to that. I had to do it for her, so shout out to that.
Your effort is appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you break her one?
No, I did not.
Me and matching one, that would have been sexy.
That would have been kind of cool, right? That,
Need a part two.
we did it in part 2, right?
We're definitely gonna have a part 2.
Are we gonna have part 2? We're gonna have part 2. So,
But okay, so what are you trying to put in chronological order?
So yes, going back to you because, like I said, you Texas, but then where did the Germany move happen?
My mom's in the military, so she was. She was in the army, and she had orders to go to Germany, and she picked up and went to Germany with me and my sister, and then we lived in Germany for about 12 years, 12 or 13 years. But in between that time, we came back to the U.S. because my mom's American, her family's there. But then some of my family came over to Germany. My mom went to Germany. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go with her. Like my aunts.
Gotcha.
My aunt, and she had kids and had cousins there. So we lived there for a very long time, and then I came permanently to the U.S. in high school. And I went to Texas because that's where she's from.
Is German the most unattractive language of all time?
It's very. I'm not fluent in German. I don't speak German to anybody, but when I do hear it, it's aggressive. It's very dominant.
Very, literally my thoughts of German is just Hitler speeches and stuff like that, and maybe that's not a good reference point, but yeah, because a lot of harsh.
My last time speaking German was when I went to college in South Florida, Southwestern. It's in Fort Myers, and I worked at True Religion.
That is a very niggery job to have.
Very niggerish, but so white.
Really?
All the people in there were Europeans. They were snowbirds, and they would come to the outlets. And after that, I was like, I started. Oh my gosh, I know these words that they're saying. I know this language, and then I would communicate with them. And then after that, I kind of fell off.
Gotcha. You know what? You know what I told her? You know what her voice sounds like?
What?
She has a sex phone worker voice.
I wouldn't say that. She got a news anchor voice.
news anchor.
No.
Coming to you live, the forecast for today.
You know how to do that naked news? Remember how you do that back in the day with the women to be?
You're just trying to make it wrong.
No, legit.
You sound like a news anchor.
All right, whatever. You sound like a news anchor. How about
Now I
that?
say stuff in German.
I'm a freak bull? No.
You're a freak.
All right, let's go back into it. This was the guy who made that gas when Camille put her feet up.
Oh, you like feet?
She said, when I was watching the Camille video, I heard somebody say, behind the
No, it was something. It was something. It was like...
It was said you did a gas.
There was the energy shifted upwards, like, so everybody was like looked up, and it was like ooh, or it was something
That's
like if
worse
you
than the
go.
gas. That's the noise you made.
No, but it was just like it was like like it was a I don't know how to explain it. If you go back and look at what she did, like when she put them feet up, it was like a shift in the.
You got some amazing feet.
Shit, they looked it good. They looked it damn good. They looked better than mine.
That is super funny. So you're out in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Oh,
Is that your phone? Hopefully your phone didn't crack.
Fuck.
Is your phone straight?
Yeah.
Your phone is straight. Beautiful.
Whew. You guys have workers' comp?
Yeah, that's some hard ground too. I'm glad your freaking phone survived. But when you're in Germany, do you experience any like racism or anything like that?
No, my first time experiencing racism was in Texas.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I don't really, because I do know like Germany did a lot to like try to denazify Germany, to like try to take all the statues and everything that was not Nazi related, to take that out of like the just culture of Germany. So I don't know how well they did that. Sounds like they did some type of good because they didn't call you like monkey or something crazy like that.
That's not even a thing. There's a very big African community in Europe in general. Like there's a lot of Africans in Europe, and it was very integrated well, unlike in the US. There's you could see the separation, but like in Germany I never had like a problem with me being black. It was
interesting.
It was me being black. As long as I knew some German, and when I spoke good, and hey, I blended in.
I do know that there's Africans in Europe. I've seen a lot of Africans in Ukraine recently. So
yeah, which is I don't like what's going on.
That was crazy. They said, here's a bus, but not a bus for you, buddy. And those Africans out there still. Hopefully, I don't know if there like any updates on those people.
There are still, there is there's a Facebook, or not Facebook page, Instagram page that you could like go to and like kind of track what's going on. But a lot of them were pushed to Poland and Holland and surrounding countries of Ukraine, which is not any better than where they are, because it's just other white countries.
Yeah.
But it'd be better if they just got to go home. And I'm sure last time I looked, majority of them are at home.
That's good. That's good.
Are at home or in those houses that they do for students, that for international students.
I've never seen them, but I would imagine that would be a thing.
But like they're there too.
For sure.
Yeah, that really upset me.
I think the craziest thing that I've seen around the Ukraine thing regarding like black people is that they were saying that to like Americans and stuff, like the refugees they're like sending a whole bunch of refugees to America from Ukraine trying to escape the war and whatnot. And they said, hey, if you're black trying to help these refugees, just a note, you might get called a nigger and you might get called a monkey. And I was like, this is a meme, right? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is a real thing. Like whoever secretary said
that language. That's not even. They don't. I'm not saying they don't know about that stuff, because social media does share those type of. That energy is also transferred in Europe, but that's not how they don't think like that. They don't think those words, but they think less than when they see black.
What do you think? They got to think of something though. Like they have to have words.
They picture it to actually Africa, not U.S. African or African Americans. They picture what we see on TV, I guess.
But no, I'm saying like when you see somebody that you look down on, you got a word that comes to your mind. Either that be stupid or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So they have to have some words they associate with black people.
And it's mainly, I would want to assume like uneducated, which blows my mind, because those kids are in college in the Ukraine. And some of the Nigerian kids, the kids that were from Nigeria, they can speak the language too. They learn the Ukrainian language, and I was pretty impressed. I was like, oh shit, this is Yoruba guys speaking Ukrainian and Russian, and because they've lived their whole like careers of being in school. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, people spend 8+ years in foreign studies and stuff. Like they spend a long time in school, especially if it's paid for free.
I think if you're an African in Ukraine right now, you're watching this. I wish you the best of luck. If you're a Ukrainian watching this, don't call me the N-word, please. But yeah,
go to the embassy.
Too late, they cut it off already.
They already fucking already. But so yes, you lived from Germany for 12 years.
Yeah.
Then you moved to Texas.
Yeah.
And
I was back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah. But that's when you officially moved out of Germany.
Yeah, and high school. What was high school for me? What grades are the
9th through 12th?
Maybe like 10th, I think, or 10th or 11th grade.
Was there a big culture shock going from like being so Germany to now you're in the good old Texas, where I would imagine you probably will see some racism in Texas?
Well, I lived on a military base, so it was like there were still Americans there. But there was a huge culture shock. I mean, it's different. I was able to assimilate accordingly and, blend in a little bit. But it was hard because I was so used to one thing and then getting picked up and being like, oh, we're never going there again. And we're going to stay here.
Does she have the best vocabulary of the participants? I would definitely give you vocabulary of the year award for Girl Talk.
No, because my chronological eyes.
Okay, that's definitely not a word. Yeah, you made it even longer than. Maybe I have to take that vocabulary award
No,
away.
it is a word.
Well, say it again. How you said it?
Chronological.
You made it way longer last time. I don't know what you said. But
what is the verb of what is the word?
Just put. I don't know. I mean,
there's a verb to it.
Is it?
You could verb.
Hey, chronologicalize that shit. Like, I don't know what that word would be.
Put that shit in order.
Yeah, that's the verb right there. Put it in order. That's the verb.
Yeah.
But no, so you go from so you said you had some culture shock. Do you know, like, off the top of your head, like, do you remember like things that you were like, whoa, like this is definitely different?
The people.
What was that laugh though? What does that mean?
Cause it's like that's like the different thing. Like the people weren't. I don't know. I feel like when people don't know you're from somewhere, they like even being here and being in I've lived in the U.S. I'm 25 now. I've lived in the U.S. for over 10 years. Maybe that's a stretch. Maybe 10 years. But like people still like, oh, you not from around here. Like, okay, and it's just like, okay, now I'm put on the spot.
So is that like a white thing, or is that just people in general?
People in general, I just feel like I know when I first moved like permanently to the U.S., I didn't feel like welcomed. Where I was it was an area called Belton, Texas. It's I don't know. Yeah. It's by Killeen.
Yeah.
I wasn't really welcomed. I didn't feel welcomed. And it was hard adjusting. I was, in high school I was a loser. How about that?
In what way?
I don't know. It's just the typical. What is the definition of a loser?
Did you change?
Someone that is not favored.
Are you not anymore?
Definitely. Oh, I mean, I feel like I still have loser mentality and loser vibe internally, but like.
That's crazy to say. I got loser mentality.
I got a loser mentality.
That is not
like
good.
I mean to say like, oh, instead of going out and having fun, I'm gonna sit at home. Like, okay, you're a loser. I mean like that.
You do sit at your house a lot on your story. Like I
love my house. There's no reason for me to
have like a glass of wine in your hand in your bed. And like
always.
that's always on your story.
Always.
So I definitely. Hey, I got a lot of stuff from your story too, by the way. Talk about, so
calm down.
It's not too crazy, but I do have stuff from your story that I do have to talk about. But
no, I wasn't favored in high school. I was a new girl, and I was like, happy coming like to a new school and trying to make friends. And it just wasn't. It didn't work out. It didn't work out that way.
You look good. I know.
I did not look like this in high school.
Did you have the glow up, as they say?
I did. I had the glow up. I went through my my stages of glow.
What age would you say you got your like glow up?
25.
Oh.
Nah, like when I maybe the past 3 years. That's when I really was like, that's when people from my high school would just be like, damn, girl, I knew you would be pretty. That's the word. I can show you messages.
Does that feel good?
It felt good. I was like, yeah.
That's fire. Did you deal with like self-esteem problems type of thing?
Definitely. I was I was also emo too.
Before we get there, did you deal with that in Germany or did that start in the U.S.?
It started, well, my real depression, I want to say started in the U.S. But like, when I was in Germany, I had my whole emo stage. I did. Can you see me being emo?
Yeah, I could.
I was a really successful emo girl. I did everything.
Yeah, like the bangs and stuff. Like
and I can tell you everything. I'm gonna show you pictures.
So you're wearing all black.
I wouldn't wear all black, but it was definitely like rock star. Like I probably looked like I listened to Lil Uzi or something.
Were you listening to any emo music at the time?
I listened to EDM. Like
that's definitely not emo music.
No,
so
it was like
you were like emo and fizz pumping.
Yeah, I was kind of like a rock star vibe, but it was like I did like the black and the bangs and the black nails, and then I had braces and they would be black. Yeah.
When did you stop that?
Oh, I only had that face for like a year because my mama was not fucking with it.
Imagine showing up to the strip club in emo clothes.
Oof.
That might change the game. You're twerking really hard with all black, and I'm like, who is this crazy woman here? They're gonna give you some more money.
That is true.
That'd be kind of hard.
Or a therapy session.
Your boss like,
help.
And
it's crazy because the manager is also. Oh, you didn't tell me. The club manager, she's also like almost my therapist, kind of. She'll tell me, she'll talk to me. She'll be like, hey, what's going on with you? You know, you okay? Because she knows, like, my life and stuff. So she'll check on me and do wellness checks. And I'm like, oh.
That's very nice of her.
Yeah, she care about me. Shout out to Miss Rose.
Shout out to Mrs. Rose.
We love her.
We love Miss Rose. So going back to high school and your depression, that started like 10th grade-ish, you would say?
Yeah.
Did you know how to deal with it back then, or do you know how to deal with it now? Like goes through the process of dealing with that type of.
I've been depressed really bad twice in my life, and the second time was recent. But I've been super depressed when I was in high school for. It was hard. I don't know what was wrong with me. I think it was because I didn't. Black parents don't acknowledge mental.
Yeah.
Health issues. So it was more of, ain't nothing wrong with you. You need to go exercise. It was like that. It was like my mom, she was supportive, but like she was more supportive of, I guess like my physical well-being. Like, hey, you need to go work out. I was also big. I was a bigger girl in high school. Yeah, I was like 180. And then when I graduated, I was like touching 2.
Wow.
Yeah. So she would always be like, you just need to go work out.
How long did it take you to lose that?
All my weight?
To look like this now, like how
probably a year. I had like worked out with my mom for like a short period of time, like 4 months, and she would kind of like guide me and help me. And then, I did the whole weight loss program, and then I had breast reduction, and I had lipo. So I tweaked my body a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. But I did it when I got to the weight I wanted to be. If that makes sense. Like I got my breast reduction before, so I'd be able to exercise.
I was gonna say like
I got my breast reduction when I was like 18, 19, and then I ended up getting a breast lift after later on down the line, but it helped me exercise more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, were they so big that it was like restricted?
Man, I had back problems and I see a chiropractor because like my gosh, they was that big.
How big were they? Like
F. So it was touching F.
Yeah,
They was big ones. But it's crazy because this part of my body was small. I just had really big boobs, just, stomach, arms, like so. It was like my body was like really unproportionate.
I can't even picture that. Just because like I know what you like now, I can't even. That is very interesting. Getting the body that you want. Did you think that helped your mental at all?
I thought it would, cause like when you look good, you feel good. But I just wasn't. I feel like we're gonna talk about depression Oh my God, don't make me cry.
No, I don't want to make you cry.
Honestly, I just wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because I didn't love myself.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people deal with and don't want to acknowledge that they don't love themselves. But I had to deal with that, and I didn't have anybody to really sit me down and be like, hey, what's wrong? You know, my dad and my stepdad, they'd be like, you need to go see someone, go talk to someone. Or my mom would just be like, that's life. Like, she was like one of those moms. Yeah. That's life. So I didn't really get that that connection mentally with my mom like I wanted to when I was little.
Like an emotional connection.
The emotional connection and emotional support, because she didn't get that. So she know how to give it. Yeah. So I was just like, when's my mom gonna come like help me? Like in my head, so I was real sad for a long time. And she also kept getting on me about being fat.
Did that help? Like,
no, it made me even sadder.
Was she fat shaming? Like, would you put it?
It wasn't fat shaming, but it was just like I could see it in her face that she was like, "Damn, why I got this big ass kid?" I swear. And then I just had to sit back and do like a self-assessment, and then I got to the point where I was in college. After I graduated high school, I went to college, still depressed. And then, but I went to college and I was like, I ain't got no reason to be depressed now. I need to start a new life. And then I just kind of opened up a whole new. I was doing all types of stuff when I first started college. I was in South Florida, and I just kind of rebelled against everything that I didn't do when I was at home, and then I started to experiment, and then I was like, oh, I'm finding myself doing shit I ain't got no business doing. That's how I found myself. Gotcha. I kind of found out what I liked and didn't like just by doing it. Gotcha. And then I kind of got back right, and then like I said, I had 2 big stages of depression. So that was high school, college, and then now graduating college, I took Adderall. I have ADHD. I'm thinking in my head, I've been taking ADHD. I have taken Adderall for a long time. I've had ADHD for forever. I only thought I needed it for school. I was like, all right. So what do I do when I graduate? I stopped taking my medicine because I was like, I don't need this anymore. I'm an adult. I'm going to work, okay? Not school. I don't have to study for fucking quiz or a test. So I stopped taking my Adderall, and then I had huge withdrawals, and I didn't even know what was going on until I knew what was going on. I talked to somebody. I was like, damn. So back on it.
How did you not to just to kind of last thing before we deviate from this? How did you? Because you say your mom didn't learn from her people, so you didn't learn from her. So where did you go to learn how to try to attempt to deal with this stuff? Like where did you even because you don't even know where to look sometimes. So how did you even get the initiative? I'm finna look here and I'm finna try to do this. Where did that start from?
Myself. My solution was in myself. Like I said, I just learned how to love myself, and because that's just something that I didn't do. And when I learned how to do that, I self-isolated a lot. And honestly, self-isolation is very therapeutic if it's done properly. I love to tell people that. If you do it the right way,
I agree.
You'll be cleansed. You'll feel real good. So I started to learn how to love myself. I wrote stuff down I liked about myself, wrote stuff down I didn't like about myself. I started looking in the mirror more and, going out more, just being myself. And then when I realized people like me. People think I'm pretty. I'm like, okay. So it's all about it's internal. It really is internal. Talking to someone. I did talk to a therapist. I had a therapist. Talking to someone's good, but it's just, it doesn't do it enough if you don't have that internal motivation to treat yourself to what you need.
So I definitely don't want to turn into a big therapy session because he definitely accuses me to turning these episodes.
No, you do psychoanalyze a lot. You psychoanalyze a lot. I noticed that.
How are you guys doing?
You do psychoanalyze a lot, but that's also good. Some people need that. Yeah. You had one interview where some person, she needed that. You get what I'm saying?
You're talking about Jordan.
Yeah. She needed that. She needed that. And her interview was great. And she spoke her truth. It was great. But I was just she needed to hear you out. And I needed that too. I needed someone like you. Yeah. I remember I had went to my friends And I'll be like, y'all, like, they were my acquaintances. I called them my friends at the time, but I was just like, something's wrong with me. They were just like, you're fine. You just need a blunt. You need to sit down. You need to think about some shit. You need a shot, bitch. And in my head, I'm like, shit, I probably do. But really, I needed someone like you to sit there and throw these questions at me. Like, why you feel like that? Well, what causes that? Well, what? I needed that. See, therapists, they don't do that. They try to cope with you and hold your hand. I needed somebody to be like, this is what it is. I needed it in front of me, but I didn't have that at the time.
Hey, correction. Bad therapists do that.
Really?
Yeah, because different styles of therapy.
There is.
Very different styles.
But I wasn't seeing, I did both. I saw just a regular therapist. Mm-hmm. And then I also seen a psychiatrist before. Yeah,
I mean, because a therapy would just talk to you. A psychiatrist ones that's going to prescribe you medicine.
They diagnosed you. So I was definitely diagnosed by a psychiatrist before, and I went through with the treatment, but I was just like, still feeling the same. I'm like, damn, there's only so much fucking fluoxetine I could take. I don't have that many.
I feel you. I can tell you,
I ain't got no more melatonin for you to stimulate.
You're one of those people you need somebody to like be there. Yeah, close enough. I wouldn't go say nothing. Right? Close enough. But you're one of those people you need somebody to kind of push you sometimes. You always tell me, like you'll be like, hey Eric, I need you to motivate me or whatever.
Yeah, I need those phone calls.
Push or whatever. So. I definitely feel that, and I didn't know this beforehand that you suffer with depression, but it makes sense. It makes sense because a lot of depressed people I know are very sarcastic, are very they make
deflective.
They make a lot of self-deprecating jokes about themselves, and you do a lot of that. So it's.
But I'm recovered.
Hey.
I'm recovered.
You're talking about like you're a drug addict or something.
I'm not actively depressed, but I've been there, so I'm okay with being like open and telling. Like that, cause like when I was like what you're saying. I was so deflective. I'd be like, I would say bad stuff about me, and then like joke about it. Yeah. And like, it'd be awkward. People would be like, no, don't say that about yourself, and I would be like,
But no, that's a very normal thing, so that's not surprising at all. To kind of, I guess, put things in a much more lighter place. Yeah. You shake your butt for a living.
Derek, that is not light. That was a huge insult because I do not do that for a living.
We just talked about what you do for a living.
Part-time. I'm a part-time entertainer.
Part-time entertainer at the booty club, right?
At the booty club.
Gotcha. That was kind of wild for me to just discredit everything you just said.
My whole entire career.
And all you do is just shake your butt.
I spent 4 years in college, but fuck that. Because it's a stripper hole at the end of the day.
That was me.
No, once a stripper hole, always a stripper hole. I got it.
Now you just regret.
I'm trying to second you so you don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I knew it was coming.
Goodness gracious. So yes, how did you start that? That was super funny.
That's I didn't know. I wasn't prepared for you to ask me that.
Really?
No.
Is it a sad story?
I started off. It was a dare-ish, kind of. It wasn't a dare. It wasn't a like, oh, I dare you to do it. I had a group of friends. I say friends so lightly because everybody's my friend. I am my friend. They're acquaintances, or they used to be, and they're dancers, and they were dancing for a long time, longer than me. I might be exaggerated. Maybe 3-4 years. And they would go to the strip club and work, and I would be bored, and I would go. And it was a good vibe. Like, I liked the experience. I was like...
Were these your first times at strip clubs visiting them?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. My first time in a strip club was here.
Introduction to the strip.
Yeah, introduction to the strip club was here. Jacksonville was so toxic. Shit. Yeah, so they were dancers, and I would go there, hang out with them, throw money, and a lot of it. And I started.
Oh, you were throwing a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a make it rainer.
I wasn't even a make it rainer. I would do dumb shit like throw 20s. I didn't get it. I went to a strip club throwing $20 bills, like dead ass. Like I would just throw $20, and then like my friends, my homeboys, they'd be like, "Oh, you tripping?" And I'd just be like, "What? Oh, I gotta go get ones, okay?" And let me go get ones real quick.
You were blessing those strippers though.
I was blessing. They were also my friends, so I was like, "Oh yeah, shake that thing, sis." Like, and then there was one time where they came to my house and they emptied out their bags of money and started counting their money.
Oh, you were like, "Whoa, what is that?"
No, I mean, I was just like, "Oh, that's a lot of money."
Yeah.
And then I was looking at the time. I'm like, we was only in the strip club for 3 hours. And then my homeboys would tell me, they would just be like, "If you did it," they were like you. They were like, "If you did it, hands down, you would be like something for real." And I would be like thinking, "Oh, I'll try one day."
I say that to you?
No, like just how you motivate me. They were like, "You need to try it. You need to try it." And I would like always like, nah, I like the vibe. I like the scene. I like looking at ass. And then during COVID, was it during COVID? Oh, towards after COVID had hit. Because I haven't even started dancing in a year. I always tell people this. I started dancing almost a year. Yeah, April.
April of last year?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's
a year?
The mark.
COVID changed everybody's life.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yes. It was during COVID. So I'm like, I'm gonna try this club. I went to the club. I started working. My first day. You want to hear something?
Let's go for it.
I walk out. It's this day shift because I'm like, I'm gonna start out during the day because I need to prepare myself for what's to come. As soon as I walk out on the floor, I bust my ass.
No, you have on heels?
I had on the dancer heels.
Oh my god.
So I'm walking and I'm thinking like I'm hot shit. These guys are gonna look at me, and I walk by them and I trickle down. And while I'm grabbing for air, the dude's just throwing money while I'm going down.
Wow. So they're thinking this is like part of the routine, or
no? I think they was just like, yeah, we knew. I think they told them that it was my first day, so the guys were ready. They were like, yeah, we're ready to like turn her up. While I was falling, they were like, it's okay. While I was falling, and then I'm looking, I'm like, that day I was like, I'm never gonna fall again. And I haven't. Wow. I haven't. It was a very successful day. My first day at a strip club. I made.
Seen anybody else fall?
Have I seen a dancer fall? Once, once. But not like an obvious one. It was like, oh, get back up real quick.
See, you could play it off good if you're a stripper. You fall. You could land in your back and then like start like coochie popping in the air. Like that'd be a good way.
Facts. Like you can start doing.
start
doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So yes, I went to the club and I started dancing. And after my first day shift, I made more money than I make. Oh, I don't want to talk about how much money. I make more money than I made in a day.
You made a lot of money, basically.
Yeah, at my regular job.
Okay, so
I was like, I only spent like 4 hours there.
How about this though? So I did make the joke about that being your living. Have you ever thought about like I could just do this full time, or is this always going to be like just a part time?
I'm actually about to stop dancing too.
So for people that don't know, you started. You retired?
Yeah, I didn't retire, but I didn't want to. I wanted to see if I could dance. I had a personal goal, not really a goal, but I want to see if I could do it for a year. Because when I did it, everybody was like, "Oh, this is something serious. Like this is a different world. Like making it up to be like this big thing that I can't do." They were like, "Oh, no, you're not gonna make it." Like dancers would be like, "Yeah, you're not gonna make it."
That's pretty mean.
And dancers would be like, just okay. I give it back a couple months and then she's gonna be done. And then I was like, I'm gonna give myself a year. So I mentally gave myself like a year. But I'm kind of like slowly not doing it as much as I used to. Because I used to be in that club shaking that thing on a regular.
Okay, so one thing I do know about, Africans do have rhythm. But that was a crazy way to just say it, but are you a dancer? Like, just in general, like, are you good at dancing? Or are you just... Okay, so that's where.
And it's crazy because he knows.
Oh, I'm tripping.
He knows I can't dance because one day he talked me into getting on TikTok. I get on TikTok. I do a TikTok dance, and
can I put it in here, or are you gonna be mad if I put it in here?
I can send it to you. I took it down off of TikTok.
You sent it to me, remember?
Mm-hmm. But I took it down on TikTok.
But I'm saying you sent me like the actual video. I think if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put her video.
I can't dance. I don't have any rhythm. I don't that's just not a thing. Like I did. I wasn't. No.
Okay, so you don't know how to dance. Dancing versus twerking. Is there a big difference?
Honestly, I can't do that either. I just look decent.
So,
I do enough to make good money.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Are you doing?
I do the bare minimum.
So you're not doing the crazy pole tricks where you're
No.
hanging off the pole and doing.
No. I could do a pole trick or two, but I don't really.
So
I just kind of look cute.
So does that say a lot that you really don't know how to twerk or dance like that, but you make a lot of money? So the girls who are doing these crazy dance moves.
I feel like for what I do, the amount of work I do in the club, the amount of money equates.
I was gonna say, if you put in more work, would you get more money? You think?
Yeah.
Like if you were doing a crazy pole trick.
And I was doing pole classes. I took pole classes when like I probably make way more. Yeah, but it's just like I don't want to deal with like being sore. I don't want to deal with like being super tired and working my body hard. So it's just a little left cheek and right cheek could do the job.
Got you.
And it does.
Well, look, I don't want to keep it for too long. I got a couple more stuff that I want to talk about. And
Let's get out of the dancing.
I got this freaking picture that I screenshotted from your story that I'm going to put in here. I don't know what this is you were eating, but I'm going to flash it on here. I think I showed him a minute ago. Flash it on here. Can you explain what this is? Because this is something that I would imagine is a foreign dish.
Let me see it.
This one. Foreign dish?
That is a stuffed turkey.
Stuffed turkey.
It's Jordanian food. It's
Like the turkey head right there though.
It's Jordanian food. That was actually a dinner that my sister had.
What's the one African dish where they have like?
Yeah, no, that's not African. That's Middle Eastern,
Okay.
Mediterranean.
I think it's an African dish where they have like the dough in their hand and they
Fufu, you uncultured swine.
That's what it is?
Pounded yam, fufu.
The white stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, fufu.
I don't know what it is.
That's fufu.
Yeah, it's called fufu.
It looks interesting.
Would you try it?
I mean, that's not bad. That's literally chicken and rice.
Well, the fact that
it's just served a different way.
Yeah, I think that's the part that's kind of throwing me off.
So what are you used to eating? Like catfish with the feathers still on it? Because black people like their catfish fried and with the feathers still on it.
I don't eat catfish.
Oh.
I don't eat a lot of that country bunking,
Yeah.
I'm finna eat porcupine off the road. No, that's not me. I have a little bit of decorum.
It's just a chicken.
But yeah, like you said, it's just prepared different.
It's just because the preparation is different.
It's
It's
just prepared
stuffed.
different.
And that's like single serve. I think that was like a wedding, not a wedding, but like wedding leftovers.
And the question that I definitely want to ask you, because I've always talked about this. So thought that was an African dish, was not an African dish. But
no, it's not African.
Speaking of African people, why is there so much beef between Black Americans and Africans? I think I know, but I'll rather. Well, can I say my?
Yes,
and
say
then
what
you will
you
say
think.
what you. Okay, so I think Americans look at Africans the way they do because the only thing they see is like, they're poor, they're gotta eat flies or whatever, and they see that on TV. That's honestly what that's what people think.
Yeah.
People think like, do you have cars in Africa and stuff like that? So they look at you as poor. Kind of going back to racist Europeans, they look at Black people as poor. So it's like, oh, I'm looking at them as lesser than. I think the Africans look at the Blacks in a bad way because Black people look at Africans that way. And a lot of Africans that come to America, they work hard and they have this perception that Black Americans are not hard workers because it's like, yo, you broke on your own. It's not the government fault because I came all the way from Africa and I'm getting all this money. You don't got no excuse. So I think that also fuels the fire of like, you just complaining, you're lazy. Because I know a lot of African households, they say, you're like a lazy American. I don't be like the lazy Americans or whatever. So that's my take. Could be completely wrong, but I would love to hear it from a perspective of somebody who is African descent.
So I see both sides, right? Because I'm Nigerian and American.
Yoruba?
Igbo, yeah. So I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Oh, you got it. Come on.
I know. Okay. There is that what you were saying of how we see Black Americans see Africans. They see the kids and the bellies and then I feel like that is made like fun of a lot. So
For sure.
Obviously Africans in our generation know that and are aware, and then also jokes like African Booty Scratcher that started like with Jamie Foxx, and then the Coming to the America movie, that type of stuff kind of stimulated the jokes. And I wouldn't say there's a beef. There's like a clear separation. And then the it's not it's a separation of culture.
Yeah.
The culture is different. We are the same. We're both African.
Same bloodline.
Literally the exact same bloodline. We were just oppressed differently. Like, you know, the Africans that are from Africa live there. They weren't taken from their land. Okay, Black Americans were.
Yeah.
So the oppression was just different, and then also the opportunity. So Black Americans have that opportunity already just by having citizenship. And you're having citizenship, and then I know Americans that don't finish high school, and that's weird to me. Like, I know somebody that doesn't even have their GED, and that's just so, to an African, like, there's no excuse at all. Like, no, you could be deaf, blind, dumb, and slow. There is no excuse to where you don't at least take the opportunity to finish high school. But Africans definitely come to the U.S. and take advantage of the opportunity Americans have to offer with education. And seeing that a lot of our Black community, Black Americans, don't utilize those benefits that are there, especially for low-income homes and, you know, people that are at a certain percent of the poverty level, they get almost free money. And they don't even utilize that. And then that's just, I guess that's the main thing, the main difference. The laziness comment, I feel like everybody's lazy to a certain point. But when you grow up in an African household, see, I have my dad, and my dad, he was a little different. He treated us like princesses. He was like, you don't have to worry about it. It was more like when I was with my dad, you don't have to worry about nothing. So he wasn't like pushy on education, but that is a thing. Like, you have to take advantage of the education. You have to become educated. It's not a question. It's not optional. And to see Black Americans treat education as optional is not something Africans like to see, cause like they see it as an opportunity. It's a privilege. Education is a privilege. Yeah. Cause you could go to where my dad's from, Uzeba. It's in Edo State. I mean, and
where's that at?
Edo State. Edo State is like, I guess South Nigeria. I think it's South Nigeria. Don't quote me on that. I'm not from Nigeria, but very, very poor village. Very poor. Like, my cousins that have like WhatsApp have to go somewhere where it's connection to use their little phone to message me on WhatsApp. If I can send them books, if I can like send them stuff, like just anything. And like to come to the US, and then there's people that don't even want to finish high school. It's like, what? Like my cousin would love to see high school. What? It's weird.
That's a conversation I feel like can take 30 minutes. So
it's deep. It's
Part
deeper
two.
than like laziness and stuff. It's deeper than laziness. It's real deep.
We'll save it for part two.
For sure.
But like I said, don't want to take up too much of your time. If you have any last words for the people watching, let it be known.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This was fun.
I think it was very fun. Think it was a really good episode?
Oh my gosh, give me a hug. I've been waiting all day.
I've been waiting for this too. Oh my gosh, you're here.
Such good energy. I can feel it in my body.
Yes. The energy through your shoulder going through my Adam's apple was not fun, but
I'm sorry.
That's why I said I can't breathe. But yes, I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you. I love you. I love you guys.
I never say this enough. Shout out to Random Acts of Podcast for letting me use the studio. That is always a very nice thing. From doing it out this man's house to now his studio. This guy came up. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody.
Wow, we're doing big things, baby.
You know what I'm saying? So let's give him a round of applause. I don't know how I feel about him giving himself a round of applause, but I'll accept it. Either way, appreciate you, really do. Until next time, for everybody watching, I say what I mean what I say. Haters are gonna hate, players are gonna play, and you guys holler at your boy.